President Bola Tinubu has embarked on a historic two-day state visit to France, marking the first official visit by a Nigerian leader in over 2 decades. This significant meeting with French President Emmanuel Macron is set to shape the future of bilateral relations between the two nations. This visit comes at a pivotal time for both countries as they face shared challenges and opportunities in trade, security, and global diplomacy. Today, we'll explore the 10 key topics on the agenda for President Tinubu's meeting with President Macron. For economic partnerships, strengthening trade relations, discussion on increasing bilateral trade, particularly in agriculture and technology, in aims to strengthen the volatile currency. Investment in infrastructure, looking for French companies to eye Nigeria's infrastructure and energy sectors for major investments. For security and counter-terrorism, collaboration on regional security, tackling insurgency in the Sahel and combating piracy in the Gulf of Guinea. Cybersecurity partnership, sharing resources to address rising global cyber threats. These challenges and more, posed by the insecurity and corruption, have left over 129 million Nigerians, more than half the country's population, living below the poverty line. For climate change and renewable energy, in promoting green energy initiatives and oil exploration, increased oil production and a focus on renewable energy projects to meet climate targets, reforestation and biodiversity projects to protect the environment in both nations. For education and collateral exchange, giving scholarships and research grants, expanding opportunities for Nigerian students to study in France and improving the student loan scheme, cultural collaboration and highlighting the importance of cultural exchanges to strengthen diplomatic ties. For global leadership and joint leadership on African issues, addressing the economic and political needs of Africa in global forums. And lastly, reforming multilateral institutions, pushing for reforms in the UN and WTO to reflect Africa's growing influence. This visit is more than just a meeting. It is a turning point in Nigeria-France relations. The outcome of these discussions would open a new chapter of cooperation and mutual growth. What do you think about these discussions? Will these visits strengthen Nigeria's global standing with challenges like inflation at 31.70%, up from 22.41%, or food inflation at 37.92%, up from 24.48%, and the Naira devaluation? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned and thanks for watching, guys.
And we owe it a responsibility by all of us to put together a food security program for private sector investors to come in, invest, with the risk, the fears that they may have. We've been working on stabilizing the security system in Nigeria, and we are getting closer and closer. We are doing better now in the area of security. I can assure all the investors here that Nigeria is open for business. And I thank you for your collaboration. Vital to this is the education of our children. We have a vibrant youth population that is well educated and ready to be trained, skilled, and development of our economy. This, I will emphasize that we need the French expert and investment to do more in this area to help develop our youth population.
Fond memory of the welcome I received during my visit to Nigeria in July 2018. As you know, this was not really the first time I had been to your country, where I'd had the good chance to stay about 20 years ago. For the past 10 years, our relationship has taken on a new and unique dimension. I would particularly like to pay tribute to the strength of our economic ties, as we have just left the Franco-Nigerian Business Council. And tomorrow, with your ministers, there will be an important business forum. So you are leading unique reforms in the history of your country. And you and your government, you are deeply reforming the Nigerian economy. So this is why France, apart from our historic ties and the position that we hold in terms of the energy sector and other sectors, we would like to do more for new technologies, agribusiness as well. And with the President and his ministers, we have defined several new lines of actions for investment of French companies in Nigeria, of course, in the energy sector, and also in the sector of rare metals and critical minerals, which are so necessary for the development of new technologies, and in particular, new decarbonized industries. In digital matters, creative industries, in the sector of defense, there are numerous opportunities, and also in the health sector, etc. So in each of these sectors, we have defined some lines of action. In terms of critical minerals and energy, we will be signing some supplementary agreements. So on the other side, over the last few years, you're starting to invest in France, and I'm very glad to see the partnerships that we have signed with several banks, and the strengthening of Nigerian banking in our country over the last 5 years. So we have become the first business hub for Nigerian business in France, and many banks have opened their offices here. We have financial partnerships and once again, agribusiness companies that have decided to organize partnerships and set up in France. Apart from these economic partnerships, which should make France a long-term partner to accompany you for the food security of your nation, and also to allow the extraction and the valorization of minerals to be a partner of your defense and security strategy with our industries. These are three axes that we are committed to. France will continue to invest through the AFD. We have more than 320 million euros from 2025 for food security projects, urban mobility, for higher education, vocational training, climate change, amongst others. AFD group investments will be complemented by new investments via loans from the French Treasury to finance the modernization of livestock farming in Kwara, the renovation of teaching hospitals, and a mini hydropower plant demonstrator in Katsina State. So these are just a few of the projects that are planned. And as you know, I talked about the cultural and creative industries, but France is very much committed to invest in the artistic and cultural sectors as well, with many opportunities for young people. So in this regard, I'm pleased to announce that we've agreed with the President Tinubu that the next edition of the Forum Creation Africa will be held in Lagos in the second half of 2025. This event, the first edition of which was held in 2023, will allow us to bring together cultural actors from our two countries, but also from across the African continent. And this will promote the rise of African cultural and creative industries. We have also decided to accompany you with creating your own cinema industry, and this is in line with creating initiatives in France. So I'd like to remind you that the ambitions that you have shown for your country, we support those initiatives, and we have great confidence in you. I'd also like to congratulate you for increasing the role of Nigeria at the regional level. Your ability to be a major player in terms of defense, in the terms of the ECOWAS region. This is an initiative that France would like to accompany, and also your desire to be a key player in terms of world governance. This is necessary for all of us, whether we're referring to human rights, whether we're referring to health or climate change, protection of the oceans. I would like to congratulate you for your leadership and the desire for us to work together. France and I commit to this. We will do everything possible to include Nigeria in the different bodies in terms of world governance. And I've already mentioned this several times over. We would like to see a greater presence of African countries, whether we're talking about the Security Council of the UN, the World Bank, the IMF, and in those bodies you have a full role to play. Well, I'd like to thank you, Mr. President, for your presence, the state visit, and for the state visit. I'd like to thank you for the energy and the dynamism, having transformed the state of Lagos. You are using that energy to transform your country for the better. And the energy that we have felt and amongst the ministerial team, and also amongst the different investors and the members of the business community, this is completely convinces the French government, but also the whole of the business world, the creative world, to invest massively and to make Nigeria a major partner for now and for the future. Thank you for your visit to Paris, and thank you for everything that you have done.
Trending, sports, news, and more. This is ASA Network.